Are you directing?
Yes.
You don't even know correct
No, I don't.
directing
No, no, but
movements.
and you do.
Largely.
How? Oh, yeah, you were in marching band.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 36 of the Geek Variety Hour.
Variety Hour.
I am Sean. I am your host, co-host, whatever. I'm the old guy in the group. I'm the old nerd. I'm the OG nerd. And I'm also dad. And that guy over there is...
Yeah, partners. Let's see. My name's Connor. I'm the holiday gangster of this duo.
Here.
Yeah, and anybody listen to me say.
Okay, so for radio purposes, when you get introduced, you have to jump right in.
I'm
Not-
panicking.
No, anyway.
Oh,
So,
no, what were you talking about?
no. Usually when I introduce you, it's like you take 3 or 4 breaths of this pregnant pause silence before you start talking.
Because
So-
I'm trying to speak. Because I'm trying to not stutter.
Yeah, I know, buddy. I know.
So why even bring it up? If you know what I'm doing, why bring it up?
I'm just saying it's something to work on. That's all. Okay, so here we are. I think our sounds are okay. I'm going to be further away from my mic. I've been a little bit too close to my mic the last couple episodes, and it sounds really bad. So I'm trying to not do that. It's a habit. They always say lean into the mic, and I tend to do that too much, apparently. So anyway, we're using new
You
software.
don't lean in.
to-
You try to swallow your mic. I mean, that's how close you get to your mic.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I should have a quick clip of SpongeBob when he's licking his lips to play the trumpet or whatever in that episode.
The clarinet.
The clarinet, that's what it is. When he's playing the clarinet and he's just sitting there. Yeah, and he's doing that over and over and over. Yeah. So anyway.
I freaking hate SpongeBob. I was never a SpongeBob fan growing
Oh,
up.
we
Luke
watched.
loved it. However,
We watched SpongeBob all the time in our house. Come on.
I didn't. I hated it.
So anyway,
Luke watched it.
so we're a father and son ADHD duo that are the nerds of the house. Although it's the nerds of 2 houses now since Connor moved to Ohio. And this is
To be with my lovely bride, Nikki.
So this is our chance to do what we used to do in the house all the time and just talk about nerdy stuff. And nobody else in the house likes to talk nerdy stuff, so this is my chance to still have someone to talk to about this. He's got Nikki in his house. He can talk stuff all he wants to. But my house is full of muggles, so this is our
We
chance
talk
to...
about everything geek related except for Kingdom Hearts. Nikki will not allow me to play Kingdom Hearts.
Well, she is pretty serious about her Kingdom Hearts. She's pretty serious about that
she
stuff.
is.
So, you gotta let her.
But
You gotta let her have that.
Yeah, I know, but she claims that she doesn't let me play it because because I have a habit of over obsessing and getting too into fandoms, and so she's worried that if I play it, I'm going to get more obsessed with her than she is, and then somehow annoy her to death about it and turn her off of it.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Which,
so
to be fair, I did that with her for Steven Universe, so her fears are justified.
okay. So we usually just, for anybody that happens to swing by, we just talk a bunch of nerdy stuff. Sometimes we get into serious conversations about the whole living on the spectrum and moving out as an adult and doing your adult thing. So sometimes those discussions get kind of serious, but we usually just talk a bunch of nerdy stuff that comes across our head, chase a lot of chickens, and we have a geek question every week that we
Hence
ponder.
the mascot.
And yeah, we chase a lot of chickens, so that's why we have Chase the chicken. And so, and then we
Chilling
review
with the sunglasses.
Yeah, and then we will review a random movie every single episode. We literally roll dice to pick a random movie and watch it that week and then review it. So that's what we do. And a lot of times it takes us a really long time to get in anything because we start talking about stuff and forget where we are. So that's us. So we always start with a life update. So what's been going on with you up there in Ohio as it's getting colder and a little bit more blusterier and snowier?
I've been experiencing my first snow flurries up here, and the first time I experienced it, I I didn't have a snow scraper, so I had to use a so I had to go back upstairs and grab a hanger from the coat closet, and then go back down the stairs to my car and brush off all the snow and try to get off some of the ice
Credit.
with a coat hanger.
Use your driver's license. Just scrape the ice on your windshield. Do that all the time.
I'm not
'Cause
gonna
we did-
risk breaking my driver's
No,
license.
because your driver's license, the plastic of your driver's license is pretty solid. It's not going to snap and break. You know, like a credit card can snap and break because it's a harder, more rigid plastic. But the driver's license are pretty good about that. Dude, that's what we do down south because we don't. There's really not much of a market for snow or scrapers down here because we don't get a lot of that. But we do get condensation ice on our windshields, and so that's an easy way to do it, to scrape it. So in the future, but I know you just got you a scraper. You're lucky.
Yep.
Okay, you should consider yourself lucky living in the part of Ohio that you do, because my Wednesday morning men's Bible study that I go to, there's a guy in there, and he is from Cleveland. He lives in Cleveland for most of the year, but he has like a house down here at Callaway Gardens that he comes down during, I think, summers and holidays when school's out of session, because I don't remember what position he has, but he is at like the Cleveland School of Music. He's a professor there, or the president of the university. Anyway, so he's down here because their semesters are over, and so he's down here. And we were talking at Bible study the other day, and I mentioned
That's a good idea, Mr. Bones.
Oh, I didn't even say, hey, what's up, dude? So anyway, so he was saying that, living in Cleveland, because I said, hey, Wednesday, it sounds like they're supposed to get 9 inches of snow in Cleveland. He says, yeah, Connor's lucky where he is. They don't get a lot of that kind of snow, but in Cleveland, they get all that stuff straight off of the lake. He said last week they got 20 inches of snow in his driveway. So
20 inches. That's almost 2 feet.
Yep. So where you are, you kind of are outside that lake effect loop. So you'll still get some because you're in Ohio, but you won't get as much as he does in Cleveland. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So what else is going on with you? Anything else going on with you?
I've been doing a lot of present wrapping and present purchasing and receiving for Christmas.
Cool.
And it sounds like my fiance is having a meltdown in the office. She's screaming at something. What the heck?
Probably her
Babe,
friends.
you okay?
She's
you
probably.
Okay? She's still freaking screaming at.
She's
something.
mad at something. Oh, and by the way, Bones.
It's freaking funny.
By the way, Bones, nice seeing you, man. It's been a while. So, good seeing you typing in here, and not just in here, but just anywhere, buddy. Okay, so there hasn't been a lot going on, but although my next 2 weeks are going to be a little crazy because I'm flying out to Seattle on Sunday, and that's why I'm wearing my Red Hot T-shirt. It's a place in Tacoma.
What's Red Hot?
Red Hot is the most awesomest place to eat in Tacoma. It is like gourmet hot dogs, like strange recipe hot dogs, like the Hound Dog.
Gourmet? What the?
The Hound
Dog.
Dog
Is the Hound Dog?
The Hound Dog is a hot dog with bacon and peanut butter, and it's the bomb. They have the Gangsta Mac, which is a
peanut butter
and bacon, and then they have a hot dog called the Gangsta Mac, which is another one of my favorites, which is a hot dog and macaroni and cheese with spicy ketchup. So, and they also have
that makes more sense.
They also have a constant rotation of about 30 or 40 microbrews on tap at all times. So it's just a cool place. We go every time we go to Tacoma, go up to Washington. We try to go there. So I got to go there from Sunday to Thursday, and then I get to come home for the weekend. And then Monday I turn around and go to Boise, Idaho for a week. So next 2 weeks, right before Christmas.
I still say Boise, Idaho is kind of a random place.
It's just where they do some military training, and so they're just doing some exercises up there, and so I get to go. So that's cool. So So that's kind of going on here. I've been doing a lot of Christmas type getting ready for that. But other than that, it was nice getting your mom and your brother back home from Oklahoma. They've been gone for almost 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what's going on here. Not much else. Nothing. I mean, I live kind of a boring life. So it is what it is.
Because you're a boring old fart.
Well, I'm boring and I'm old, and I do the other as well. So I guess you can call me that. We did have our unit Christmas party today, and had the ugly Christmas sweater competition. So I wore my Seattle Seahawks ugly Christmas sweater, and I came in second place. I can't believe that nasty bright lime, not nasty, but that bright lime green sweater, Christmas sweater. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't win.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad. No. Nikki would win that contest hands down. Her ugly Christmas sweater comes with lights.
Yeah. There was 2 or 3 people that had lights on theirs. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else going on?
No, not really.
Then what do you want to talk about? Where do you want to go?
I say we dive right in.
Okay. So, Geek Question or movie?
Geek Question.
Geek Question. And I have a sound effect for the Geek Question. Finally, I came up with one.
Finally.
Now,
Jinx.
it's a work in progress.
Nope. You can't talk. I jinx you. You can't talk.
What are you going to do? Drive down here from Ohio?
Yes.
So, it's a work in progress. So, this is our Geek Question sound effect. And it may change, but anyway, so.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
So answer the question immediately. I don't even know what movie that's from. I know it's Schwarzenegger, but I don't even know what movie that's from. So I know I saw what he said. So, what's the Geek Question? You're the Geek Question guy.
All right. Which story or character still terrifies you, and why?
Okay. All right. I mean, I know that's easy for me. And we're kind of getting to where we're kind of trying to tie our Geek Questions into the movie that we're watching that we review for this week. And the movie that we watched,
if there's absolutely no way to do that.
The movie that we watched this week is a horror movie. So anyway, ho ho horror. Yeah, get it. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So the Geek Question.
Dad, look, it's
from Kindergarten Cop. I saw that. Yeah,
it's from Kindergartner Cop.
Yep. So have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen Kindergarten Cop, Connor? Have you ever seen that?
Nope, never.
It's not a tumor.
Never.
It's not. So anyway, you might be a tumor.
That's what that's from?
Yeah, that's where that's from. So, all right. So what character or movie or whatever still terrifies you to this day? And of course, you only have 24 years under your belt, so you don't have a lot of. But anyway, go ahead.
Let's see. A character that still terrifies me. Let's see. Gollum still terrifies me.
Okay.
Gollum terrifies the absolutely crap out of me because
why?
Because he's he is a little gray-skinned and a deformed person who speaks in the third person, has multiple personality disorder, and literally bites off fingers and eats raw fish.
Doesn't that kind of sound like most of the people we grew up with down here?
How's that not? You're afraid of Kermit?
Oh, that reminds me.
Afraid of...
I've got a story about Kermit as well. So
no. It's my turn to talk.
No, go ahead. No. I mean, that's not the answer to my question. That's not the answer to my question. But I have a Kermit story as well. So go ahead. So what's okay? So other than Gollum, what else going on? Otherwise, this is gonna be a really short question.
Dad. Have you seen the first Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage and Sam Elliott?
I saw parts of it, but it's Nicolas Cage and Ghost Rider. It's not known to be high cinema. So no, I haven't watched the whole thing. No.
Well, there's this scene. It's one of the ending scenes, and and it's after Satan's son. I can't remember his demon name, but he goes to Sao Paulo and sucks in all of the souls of the damned that were there.
Mm.
And then he literally, then his skin turns black, his eyes turn red, and his face is constantly
Blackheart.
shifting from humanoid.
Yeah. I mean,
Blackheart, yes.
yeah. Mitch is gonna know your comic characters, dude. He's gonna know. So,
Thank you, Mitch.
he's our subject matter expert in this area.
So yes, when Blackheart absorbs of the souls from Sao Paulo, I believe it is, his skin turns this bluish black, his eyes turn red, and his face is constantly shifting from like regular human to bony fanged demon, and it's a constant shift that just makes my skin crawl because his voice also sounds like hundreds of people all rasping and screaming at the same time. It's just makes my skin crawl.
Okay.
Now, an actual story that scares me every time.
Yeah.
Is honestly, it's the story of it's the story of Medusa.
Okay.
Do you know the story of Medusa, of how she became Medusa?
How she became Medusa? I'm sure I knew that, but I don't remember it. Because I'm not into mythology as much as you are.
The story of Medusa, of how she became the Gorgon Medusa, is basically, she was in love with the god Poseidon, and he was also in love with her because she had this amazing, charming beauty. She was smart, she was funny, and she was absolutely beautiful. And they would spread their love everywhere they could.
I need to add a sound. I need to add a sound effect for your fun facts, because we get at least 2 or 3 every episode.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'll just use the chicken as we go.
Anyway,
I'll just use the chicken.
Anyway,
it's the best thing I got.
Anyway, one day, Poseidon and Medusa, when spread their love inside the goddess Athena's personal temple.
Wait. You said they spread.
Basically, they fucked in her temple.
Oh, okay.
They banged at her. Yeah,
okay.
That slipped out. I'm sorry.
We don't use that language on this podcast, so
yeah, you're
that
right.
gets bleeped out.
That totally slipped out.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm sorry, everyone.
That's the name of my sex tape.
I'm
don't.
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. It honestly just slipped out.
This is a family podcast.
They had sex and
Okay.
They spread their love. Let's just say that in Athena's temple, which is a very, very bad crime against the gods and goddesses. So as punishment to both Poseidon and Medusa, Athena cursed Medusa to become the Gorgon.
Mm-hmm.
Her body turned snake-like. She grew snakes in her hair, and every man she looked at turned to stone.
Right.
Now, thankfully, Poseidon was immune to this because he was a god, but still he was mortified at this change and then shunned her. And then for years and for eons she lived hunting down everyone she could. And it's just, that story still scares me because they were punished for just doing what felt natural. They were punished
because there was a woman scorned. Don't ever mess with a woman scorned, man. It will not turn out well. It just won't.
But that's the thing, it wasn't a woman scorned. Poseidon and Athena were never intimate.
Yeah,
they're basically brother and sister.
Yeah,
actually, yes, that's what they are.
Well,
no, wait. Uncle and niece, I believe.
Okay,
no, wait,
whatever.
Dang it.
Okay. Okay.
The Greek gods and goddesses have a most screwed up family tree.
Kind of like the South. So yeah. Anyway,
You're from the South, so
I,
so isn't that a
that's
dig
how.
at you?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. So anyway, okay, that was a long, unfortunate trip we went on just now.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you're afraid of? Character, movie, story, whatever that you can think
Or
of?
or just anything in general.
No, the question is about movies and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So,
Oh man. No,
okay.
nothing else then.
All right. So, moving on. Look, for me it's pretty easy. It's Jaws. I mean, it is what it is. That I couldn't tell you the last time I watched that movie. I don't know that I've watched it more than once. I probably watched it more than once. But the first time I watched it, and you've heard this story before, it came out in what, 75, I think it was, which meant I was 7 years old. And back then, there weren't these multi-screen theaters. Of course, there's not any multi-screen theaters today in the COVID era either. But back then, it was just a theater was one screen, and they might show two movies. They show an early show would be one movie, the late show would be another movie. And if you wanted to see the movie and it was a big blockbuster movie, then you just had to stand in line and hope you got in. You had to get there early enough to stand in line and get in to see the movie. So the family decided we wanted to go see Jaws. Or the family decided they wanted to go see Jaws. I'm 7. It's not like I had a vote, really. We get in line, and there's 5 of us, Mom and Dad, and your 2 aunts and me. And we just make it into the theater to see the movie before they were full. The only place where there were 5 seats together was the front row. So your dad, at 7 years old, got to watch a 40-foot tall shark eating people from the front row. And yeah, that was a watershed traumatic moment in my life. So much so, I was scared to take a bath for a long time, just because it was water. I would only take a shower. Then that got better, and then I was afraid to get in swimming pools. Normal, concrete tub, basically, with chlorinated water.
Closed off. Yeah.
Okay. Then I was afraid to get in lakes, even though it's fresh water. And actually, I know all this stuff doesn't make sense. Yeah, that terrified me. And to this day, I mean, I'll get in the ocean and I'll go swimming and stuff, but I don't get too far out in the water. And if I see any fish swimming in the water, I remember there was one time we did a big family vacation out to the beach. This is when your cousins, Jason and DJ, when they were little, like 13 and 9 or however old they were at the time, or even younger than that. And we're all playing out in the water. And as we're playing out in the water and we're about waist deep, a school of fish comes swimming by us really fast and swims through our legs. Immediately when that happened, my first reaction was inside my head, no. I literally heard the music in my head, and I immediately got out of the water. And I'm the adult, and they stayed there playing, So that freaked the crap out of me. Still does. I never learned how to water ski because of it. Because that's like junior high school, right? And I'm afraid to get in the lake to learn how to water ski because of those things. When we're out at your grandparents' house out on the lake, and we're out water skiing, on the jet ski and that kind of stuff, I'll get in the water, but I'm not a huge fan of it. There's definitely a note of anxiety in the back of my head to this day because of that. Because it was a traumatic moment in a 7-year-old kid's life, and it's shaped things, right? So that's one for me. That's a character and movie that still would terrify me to this day to watch. I mean, I would manage it much better now because I'm an adult. Yeah, but it still would be there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got this vague memory of.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bones, on that irrational fear thing.
I've got this vague memory of back when me and Luke, who one time got caught in the riptide. Remember?
Yeah.
Did you swim out to help us?
Yeah, y'all got caught in a riptide, and y'all kept getting further and further out. I kept yelling at y'all to come back, and I couldn't hear you, but I could tell you were saying we can't get back. And so I immediately, and of course, you guys were on floats or something. But
Yeah.
so I
We were
immediately,
on boogie boards. We were trying
yeah,
to catch a big wave.
I immediately just instinctively ran out into the water and swam out all the way out to you guys, even though I know I'm swimming through a riptide. And then trying to get you guys back in. I mean, I almost drowned because every time I would push you, when a wave would come, the wave would take me under. And by the time I could get back up to the top of the water and swim to you for the next wave, it would throw me right back under again. And then finally I remembered swim sideways, swim parallel with the beach to get past the riptide and then come in. And we finally did that. And the lifeguards came out and helped. But I, even though I did it without second thought, as I'm running into the water and I'm swimming out there and it's probably 6-8 feet deep below me as I'm swimming out to you guys, it was in my head. Jaws was in my head. Sharks was in my head, you know? It's definitely an irrational fear, but it's there, man. So that one did it for me. I'm trying to think
Dad,
if there's
what about when we went parasailing that one time? Remember?
Yeah,
It was when Josh Cowan came with us.
Yeah. I mean,
kind of like our babysitter. Remember?
Well, that one didn't bother me as much simply because I knew what they were doing when they were dipping you in. They were dipping you in just to get you wet, and then they would pull you right back out. So I knew I wasn't going to be they were going to just drop me in the water, 300 yards offshore and just leave me there. They were just doing it to just drop you in the water and get you wet and pull you right back in the air. So that didn't bother me as much because I knew I wasn't going to be stuck out there. If they said, okay, pull the ripcord and just float down into the water and we'll come back around and get you, and you have to sit out there for 10 or 15 minutes while they come get you, no, wouldn't have happened. Nope. So, so like in the movie Jaws, I mean, just thinking about it now, the story that Quinn tells. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen Jaws?
Never.
I mean, it's worth seeing because it's great cinema. I mean, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. It's a great movie, and it may not bother me now as it did back then, just because I'm 52. But Quinn tells a story when he was in the Navy and their ship capsized, and it's based on a true story in the Sea of Japan, I think, and it was the USS Indiana or something like that. And like 1,200 men went into the water, and only like 200 survived because sharks came and started eating them. And then as they were eating one, more blood was getting in the water, and they just started it was just like a smorgasbord for sharks. And so out of like 1,200, only like 200 survived or something like that. And that was a true story. And just the thought of that, sitting out in the middle of the ocean, knowing that's happening, and just waiting for your turn, just raises the hackles on the back of my neck. So, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Bones, I sometimes I think you're a glutton for punishment. And I get it. And I could make myself watch it again just because it's one of those movies you kind of need to see again. But to watch it every single year, as dramatic as it was for me, I don't know if I could do that, dude. So my hats are off to you for that. So anyway, so that's the main one that comes to my mind. I'm trying to think if there's other ones. Look, I don't have a lot of stuff to draw on because I'm not a huge horror movie fan, so I haven't seen a lot of really scary things. I mean, I saw the slasher movies, the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff back in high school. I mean, I saw all those. But they don't scare me, really. I'm not a fan of them. I know Bones is, but I'm just not a fan of that genre as much. And they kind of became formulaic, and they're slasher movies. Okay. Every scene, who's going to die because of how stupid they're acting or whatever. I don't know. Maybe The Shining is another one that's really kind of just because it's just creepy. But I can't think. So I don't have a lot to draw on. But Jaws is the one that easily stands out for me by far the most. So, I can't think of any other ones that jump out at me other than that one. So, yeah, I guess that's my answer. So we have
Okay.
characters that eat fish and big fish that eat characters. There you go.
Ah.
And that's what we have. Full circle.
Yeah.
So all right. Cage match.
I mean,
Cage match.
it's not the fact that he eats fish.
Cage match. Gollum versus Jaws. There you go. Right there. Is he going to eat the fish, or is the fish going to eat him? There you go. Throw him in a cage. Throw him in a tank together.
Well, first off, if they're in a tank, obviously the shark is going to win because Gollum can't swim.
I'm taking credit for this chicken. I'm not blaming it on you. I started this chicken. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, if they're in an actual tank, the shark is going to win because Gollum can't swim very well.
Yeah. Oh, what are you talking about? Gollum can't swim well. Gollum can swim like a fish. Gollum swims wonderfully.
Wait,
Gollum, dude, he lived under the Misty Mountains in an underground lake for 500 years. He swam to catch his fish. Yes, he's a great swimmer.
I forgot about the lake thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude.
The
Bones.
The only thing I can remember really about him is it's like that he followed Frodo and everyone on a piece of driftwood in a river.
Right. Because it was easier than yeah. Right. I get that. But Bones, man, I love that show. I haven't watched it in a few years, kind of because it just kind of be the same episode every single time. But I absolutely love that show. But the idea,
Michael Phelps and Lord of the Rings.
but the idea of one of those guys.
I would love to see a race between Michael Phelps and against Gollum. Yeah. I would love to see that.
But the idea when if one of those guys goes overboard, because it's the North Sea stuff in the middle of winter and those waves. I would, if it was me, I would not expect to be getting saved. I would just go ahead and start swimming down to the bottom and just go ahead and be done. Because the stress and the anxiety of hoping to be saved as I'm floating up and down in that ocean, I wouldn't really be worried about a shark in that cold water, but anyway, golly Moses. Yeah, water just, it's not a big thing for me.
I think Luke would
no, me either.
In that, if he could,
dude, Luke would he would try anything. Come on, yes, he would.
He does do anything. He full on survivalist camps by himself in the mountains.
Well, I was telling him about a job that he could consider after his stint in the Air Force. Because he wants to do the whole special ops surgical team thing when he's in the Air Force. And I told him about being a pararescue. Yeah, be a pararescue or a PJ, which is kind of like, military EMTs that they have to be jump qualified and dive qualified. They basically go wherever. But I was telling him after the military, there are actually people that they're like EMTs, but like if someone gets injured, like in Canada and Alaska, somewhere in the wilderness, and they radio in and they need help, that these people will actually be flown out there and they'll just skydive into them. They'll just jump out of the airplane and skydive down to them to provide medical services to them and then hike them out. He said, yeah, I could do that. I'm like, I know you could. That's why I told you about it. So anyway, okay. So
I feel like Luke is our Bear Grylls.
He could be. He could be if he wanted to. I'd be interested to see how he handled SEER school. But it's survival, escape, reconnaissance, and evasion or something like that. It's basically teaching you how, if like you go down behind enemy lines, how to survive and get away, and how to deal with being interrogated.
Spy school? That's basically spy school.
No, it's basically how to survive when you're captured by the enemy.
Field agent school.
So anyway. So, yeah, they do that. I actually sat on the plane going to Seattle one time with a SEER instructor because the SEER school is up in the Pacific Northwest. It was an interesting conversation. So, okay. So, you want to do the movie?
Oh, Dad.
Yes, what?
Did you I've got another vague memory. Did
all
my
memories are vague.
School?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
here's the story for you. We were going down to
and then
We were going down to Providence Canyon. It was like a spring break, and we said, "Hey, let's just go down to Providence Canyon. We'll rent us a cabin at the state park down there, and we'll go down there. We'll hike Providence Canyon, do stuff down there." So yeah, we did that. And to go to Providence Canyon, you go down 185 to right before the main entrance to Fort Benning and hang a left. Well, you hang a left, you're still Fort Benning is on your right for miles. This Fort Benning. The military fort in Fort Benning has more square mile area than the city of Columbus. It's bigger than the city that it's attached to. So we were driving by, and there's a sign for sniper school because the U.S. Army's sniper school is at Fort Benning, and we saw the sign for sniper school, and that was when I was full on into all the sniper, ghost recon, all this kind of stuff, and I thought it'd be funny to get over there and get a picture with the sniper school sign. So we pulled the van over. I walked over, kind of jumped over the guardrail. Well, I didn't climb a fence or anything. I just dropped over this guardrail and went across the street to this sign, and Kelly took a picture. And as she's taking a picture, the MPs come driving around the corner and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "My buddies and I, we play Ghost Recon, and I'm the sniper on the team." And so I saw the sign and thought it'd be kind of cool to get a picture. And like, "Yeah, that's cool. Go. Leave." Okay, sorry. So I almost got arrested. That probably would have been the one thing that would have kept me from getting the job that I have now if that had happened. But anyway, so yes. So I once trespassed onto Fort Benning to get my picture with the sniper. I still got the picture. So, yeah. So anyway. But
oh man, that story still makes me laugh.
Yeah, I've done some pretty stupid things. Not in a mean way, just being stupid, just not thinking.
Dad.
Yes.
Dad, let's be honest. That's the McKay clan motto. We do stupid.
No, the McKay clan motto is Manu Forti, which is with a strong fist, with a strong hand. That's the actual McKay clan motto. The McKay clan crest and
it means we fight people a lot.
No, it just means that we're strong people. So, I mean, I've got the plaque in my office with the official McKay tartan and the McKay clan crest with the hand and the sword through the belt and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, anyway, another chicken, a Scottish chicken. So, anyway,
I thought we were Irish.
So the story goes. Another chicken. Oh, we're gonna have some chicken now, are we? So
no, Dad. No, Dad. This is gonna be a flying Scotsman.
So
you know what a Scotsman is, do you?
The Scottish Mackays. It's Mackay, and the story is that our clan of Mackays left Scotland and kind of migrated to Ireland. And when they did, they dropped the A, and it just became MCKAY. And our official way we sign our last name is officially like MCKAY, but there's a line under the C, and that line kind of signifies that former A that was there. So we technically we're Scotch-Irish. We're up in that area. Although I told you a long time ago that I had a distant cousin that was doing genealogy, and this was back before Ancestry.com and all that kind of stuff where it was easy to do. So she'd been doing it for a couple of years, and she had gotten all the way back to the early 1800s or late 1700s, and we're all still in Georgia. So she hadn't even gotten overseas. So I just tell everybody we were all the drunk Irishmen they sent to the Georgia penal colony, So that's and then we just stayed. So that's us. We were the drunk Irishmen.
I mean, that just makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes for a good story. It's completely not true, but it makes for a good story. So anyway, let's do the movie.
All about Dad. Dad, you forgot the answer to this.
What?
Do you know what a flying Scotsman is?
No.
Do you know what a flying Scotsman is?
I just said no.
All right.
Is it anything like John? Is it anything like Jonathan Barrowman?
Chicken. You take a whole chicken. No, it's not. But you take a whole chicken.
Oh, that looks like it. Look! It looks like my face now. It looks like it kind of took over my face.
Oh my gosh! No, Dad, get chased away from your face.
No,
get chased away from the face.
There.
Get chased away from your face, or I'm not going to tell you the story.
Oh, okay. Oh.
God Dang it! I knew that. I knew you were gonna do that.
Let's go on to the movie. How about we do the
Yeah, let's
movie?
go into the
Let's go to the movie because you got to go to work tomorrow. You got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, of course, I'm probably going to be playing Xbox till 4 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, okay. So how
Shut
about
up.
the next? Let's do the next installment of.
Roll for credit.
There you go.
I've said it right the past 20 times, and I get it wrong once. Because I'm
anyway.
distracted. Yeah.
Okay, so for this installment of Roll for Credits, we reviewed the 2019 movie, technically a horror movie, Eli. So yeah, neither one of us like horror movies, and neither one of us really thought that after the
But
first.
even I wouldn't call this.
I was about to say, even after even though
A
we're not
half
horror
hour.
movie fans, after the first 30 minutes, it wasn't really a horror movie. It was kind
It
of
was
stupid,
more of
silly.
a mystery suspense
It was
kind
weird.
of thing.
It was weird at the end. It just really was. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the
It
tagline,
made a weird left turn.
it did take a weird left turn. So, yes, I agree. Bones, you and I and Brandon are all in agreement that it was an awful movie because he and I were talking about it on Twitter.
And me.
No. The three of us were, me and Brandon were talking about it on Twitter. You weren't talking about it on Twitter. So, anyway, the tagline is, or the little line for the movie is, a boy receiving treatment for his autoimmune disorder discovers that the house he's living in isn't as safe as he thought. So, do you want to do the plot? Do you want to talk about the plot a little bit, or do you want me to talk about the plot a little bit? Probably me.
I'll do the plot.
Okay, go.
I said I'll do the plot.
Succinctly.
Okay, so yes, so basically, the main character Eli is this young boy who supposedly has this autoimmune disorder. Basically, he's a bubble kid. He has to live in a bubble, special suits and all that. Everything needs to be decontaminated, scrubbed, whatever. Just so he can touch it. And so his parents, Rose and Paul, found this supposed doctor who could hopefully cure his condition because Eli wasn't born like this. He was born normal, and then up until 4 years prior, he was fine. But then something happened in his body that caused him to become allergic to everything. Air, dust, water, everything.
Mm-hmm. And so they found this doctor that supposedly could cure him. Dr. Rose,
Yes.
right? Dr. Horn. Dr. Horn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Horn. So basically, the beginning of the movie is them packing up in their hotel room, going towards this facility, which this big kind of old looking mansion type home type deal.
Right.
And so they go through this decontamination scrubber thing, and Eli is able to take off his special duct taped up hazmat suit and able to hug his mom for the first time. So that's a nice moment, and all that.
Succinctly.
And I know, so I'm getting to it. I'm skipping a bunch of stuff. I really am. And then but as the nights go on, he starts noticing some things. First he notices a sort of presence in his room, and then after the first procedure Dr. Horn does with the help of two nurses, he notices more things happening. He's seeing
Right.
this. Huh?
I just said right. Encouraging you to continue. That's all.
Yeah.
Just continue.
Okay. He then eventually meets a girl named Haley who lives outside of the home, and they talk through the window of this observatory type thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they just start to bond, and she
Mm-hmm.
feeds him little bits of information about how things aren't what they seem here. and then you can tell as the movie goes on, Eli is getting more and more suspicious, irritable, scared, confused, and that creates a lot of tension.
You don't have to stop talking. Keep talking.
Yeah,
You can't talk and chew gum at the same
wanted to
time?
read what he said.
Well, you can read while you're
I
talking.
wanted to read what he said.
You
No, I can't.
No, you can't talk and chew gum at the same time. You would never been able to handle marching
No,
band.
I can't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have. That's why I quit band in middle school.
Yeah, well, anyway. So all right.
Yeah, so anyway,
Moving on.
The movie. So Eli then starts to do his own research, his own investigating at night, trying to figure out what's going on. This happens in the last 20 minutes of the movie, 20 maybe 30 minutes of the movie, and that's where all the big confusing twists happen. I'm not going to say what those twists are, but big confusing and random twists happen. But otherwise, but it ends with Eli and Haley and his mom all driving away.
Okay, that's giving away stuff.
Totally fine.
That's okay. So, talking about the plot is a little bit more about just kind of giving the general summary, so we can talk about the movie, not telling the entire plot. So, basically, the kid's trying to get treatment. He goes and he starts seeing these weird things and starts seeing ghosts, and they keep telling him that it's just the medication and it's this weird treatment. And it's like 3 phases of treatment, and he's gone through the first 2, and he's getting sicker with each phase, and they say it's just like that, and it's just going to get worse before it gets better. But he starts getting some messages. Yeah. He starts figuring out from these ghosts or whatever that they're trying to communicate with him. They're not trying to hurt him. And that's when he starts kind of figuring out, hey, maybe this stuff isn't all above board and there's something weird going on, you know? So, but yeah, it goes from, okay, you think that there's dead people and ghosts and they're going to hurt you, to now it turns out that, and look, I mean, there's like a religious cult kind of thing going on, and they're trying to save him from something, and they decide that they're just going to kill him, which they've done with all the other kids that have come through there, and he discovers it and tries to get away, and so it's kind of hard to talk about without giving that stuff away, you know? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Spoilers. It's just there's going to be spoilers. There's just going to be spoilers, okay? So here's the thing. So here's where it got weird. Here's where it got weird. When he starts figuring out that these other kids are dying, and they're trying to chase him down, his mother and father are convinced that this is going to help him. The doctor has talked him into it. As he's sneaking around and he's trying to figure stuff out, and they throw him, he runs into Dr. Horn's room and locks himself in there, and he sees a picture on her bookcase, and it's all these nuns at like a monastery, and one of the nuns is Dr. Horn,
which is the home
that they're in, and one of the nuns is Dr. Horn, and two of the other nuns are her nurses, and he starts to figure out, hey, what's going on? And then at this point, at first he was communicating with the ghost through, they would like breathing on windows and writing messages to each other on the windows, but then little bugs started flying around. And this bug flew over to a crack in the wall, and he found this tunnel that went down, and there was like this weird sacrifice-looking area. It looked like a well with a lid on top. And did you notice the symbol on top?
It was it was a pentacle with three crucifixes on the bottom.
Well, here's the thing. It looked like, okay, at first glance, it looked like a pentagram, right? A pentagram. It looked like a pentagram to begin with, the star. But the 3 crosses kind of represented
it looked, but the 3 crosses of the crucifixion.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, Jesus, so what's going on here?
The thief and the other guy.
Yeah, so that was that. So like, okay, what's going on here? You got the pentagram, but as part of the pentagram, you got the 3 crosses of the crucifixion, and then you got the cross over there with the little cross thing that has the crucifix on it,
Dagger.
which turns out to be a dagger. So they lock him down there. The mom starts freaking out and gets away from him to try to save him out of there. He knocks her out, locks her in there to get away. She opens up that well and finds the other 3 dead bodies of the other 3 kids that had disappeared.
Yeah.
So then, as they're going through all of this kind of stuff, what do we figure out? What did they finally admit to? What did Mom finally admit to?
He is literally the son of the devil.
Right. So all through the movie, Mom wears a cross, and clearly, issues of prayer.
It's super religious.
And clearly, Mom, is praying through the movie. And clearly, she has a faith. She's religious. But Eli is saying, "What did you do to me? Who's my father?" Because she says something about your father, and his father's knocked out cold or dead over the other side. So it's like, okay, that's not my dad.
Face is scrunched in.
Oh yeah, he no, that was after. That was after he figured out who he was. So Dad was kind of knocked out. That's what it was. And he's like, who's my father and this kind of stuff. Well, Mom says, and I was talking to Brandon about this earlier today. Mom says, we wanted you, we love you so much, and we wanted you so much. We prayed to God and prayed and prayed and prayed that he would give us a son. But he didn't. So, and at that moment you go, okay, wait a minute. So you say you have a faith and you prayed that God would give you a son, and when he didn't, you just naturally switched teams really quickly, very drastically, and said, hey, yo, Satan, God won't give me a kid. How about you?
Bedded down the devil.
And I'm sitting there going, and at that point I started laughing. I literally started laughing because being someone of faith,
it was forced.
Being someone of faith, doing something like that, just flipping the switch like that, but just because you're not getting what you want, that drastically is just asinine. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, whatever. And so then he starts burning he sets the Dr. Horn and the nurses on fire and crushes his earthly dad's face. And there's a girl that he'd been talking to outside. She was outside the building, and he would talk to her through the window.
Haley.
It's Haley, and it's the redhead from Stranger Things. And been talking to her through the whole thing. Well, she's staying outside their car when he and his mom come out, and her eyes glow red. So clearly she's one of Dad's kids too. And she said, "You want to meet him?" And he says, "Yeah." And so she says, "All right, Mom." She's talking to the mom. She says, "Get in the car. You're driving." And so they leave to go meet the devil.
She's like, "I'm trying."
Yeah. So
they totally set it up for a sequel, which I do not want. No one wants that.
Okay. Anything for Jackson? Do not watch that. I probably will not. The only reason why we watched this one is because we landed on it with the dice. So we don't usually watch any kind of horror kind of stuff by choice. So look, I will admit the first 20 or 30 minutes was scary for me because I don't like jump scares, and there's a few jump scares in there. And of course, maybe the fact that I was watching it at 2 o'clock, at 1 o'clock in the morning, laying in bed.
Ghostly body contortioning.
Yeah, so those things, I didn't like all that. But then when you started figuring out it's really the ghosts are trying to help him figure out a mystery of what's really going on, it ceased being scary of any kind of fear of any kind. And then,
yeah,
all of a sudden to switch it into this religious cult, you're the son of the devil thing. I mean, it just. Because all that realization happened in the last 20 minutes of the movie. And it's like they said, okay, we got to figure out some way to put this twist in, this surprising twist. And it just wasn't even believable of any kind, So it was kind of a crappy movie.
It's like they tried to copy M. Night Shyamalan, but
no.
It was it was like they were trying to copy M. Night Shyamalan.
I didn't see that.
Time.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but that was a real twist. Okay. Yeah. Really don't watch anything for Jackson, Connor.
Yeah, trust me, I'm never gonna watch anything like that again, ever.
Well, if the dice tell us we are, we are.
If it's not on Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, we ain't watching it.
Oh yeah, because because if you listen to Brandon and Mitch, if you listen to their podcast, if you listen to Divided by Werewolves, they're basically they're basically a commercial for Shudder. They absolutely love the Shudder service because it's basically Netflix for horror movies, and so if you love horror movies, it's the bomb, I'm sure, but you and I are not, so it'd be like no.
The only horror movies I like are found footage.
It's a,
Style,
see,
ones.
I don't even like those. See, it's a Shudder original, so
yeah,
they love Shudder, and I hear it's a great service, but we just don't like the genre. So I'm old.
The only horror movies I like are the found footage style ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of like VHS, Paranormal Activity, those things.
See, I don't like those. I think the things that freak me out more than anything with horror movies, it's not the slashers, it's not the that kind of stuff.
Demons and all that
it's
stuff.
It's more, the demons and the spiritual stuff. That freaks me out. I don't like seeing that stuff. So that one really gets me. That stuff does. So anyway, so look, the acting was not great. It's the Muppets. Lily Taylor. I found footage horror movies now. That's scary. So I think it's Lily Taylor. She plays Dr. Horn, and I know her from back in the '80s movies like Say Anything and all that stuff. And I hadn't seen her in forever. So anyway, the rest of the movie, and the guy that played the dad, I've seen him in a few things. As a matter of fact, he used to be in a military show. I can't remember what it was called, military TV show with Dennis Haysbert, and so it was like a Navy SEALs type thing, but it wasn't Navy SEALs. I can't remember what they were.
For a split second, I thought he was the guy that played Merle in The Walking Dead, but then I realized But then I realized that's Yondu's actor.
Yeah, that's Yondu. Yep. So speaking of Yondu, you showed me that video.
Dad.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of the guy that made an actual flying whistle controlled arrow.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool as an initial concept. Right. But hey, did a better job than I would have done. I mean, I got to get an engineer to help me do my cosplay for next year. I got to talk to Matt and get him to help me with my cosplay for next year for Dragon Con, because I need an engineer to help me build something.
What's your cosplay for next? Which is what?
Oh, I told you what I was going to do. What I wanted to do.
Be?
Okay, so I want to get a dolly.
I don't remember.
Like the furniture moving dolly. The hand trucks.
Yeah.
But you get the hand trucks that have the wheels that pop out of the back, so it just kind of tilts, but it supports itself.
Yeah.
And then I want to get a couple of small motors, and remotes, and put motors on the wheels, so it can be self-propelled and remote controlled. And then I'm going to get a straitjacket and get a Hannibal Lecter mask, and I'm going to be Hannibal Lecter, and I'm going to have the remote controls in the straitjacket with me, and I'm going to drive myself around
I will, babe.
In the hand trucks, like in the movie when they're pushing me around. Except I'm going to be pushing myself around. It's going to be self-propelled. It's just going to be Hannibal Lecter on some hand trucks going through Dragon Con. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Now, how are you going to get that up and down stairs and up and down escalators?
Oh no, dude, they're handicapped accessible. They have ramps and elevators, sidewalks
in the Marriott.
Yeah. And it'll work. It'll work.
What about the Hyatt?
I don't remember. The point is, that's what I want to do. If I'm going to do a cosplay at all, it's just going to be that one next year, because I don't expect you're going to be able to make it down. So it'll just be me, and so I'm not going to do one of our other cosplays that we normally do because that's a cosplay that you got to do with somebody else. I mean, Nigo and Fezzik and Norman Cliff, you got to do those with somebody else. So, since I also
wish I could get Nikki to dress as Carla. That would be perfect.
So anyway, so that's
she could pour beer on you and it would totally track.
Yeah, well, but anyway, well, she never poured beer on Cliffy. She never did that.
She did constantly. She constantly poured beer on Norm and Cliff.
I don't ever remember her pouring beer on those two.
Who has seen Cheers through at least 10 times?
I don't know that I would admit to that, son, but okay. That's a lot of wasted hours in your life.
I have a lot of free hours.
No, not really. So anyway, okay. Oh, you wanted me to ask you because look, I got nothing else really to say about the movie. It wasn't for a horror movie. It really wasn't that scary, except for a few jump scares at the beginning. The twist was weird.
Yeah,
it felt forced, and
it was forced,
and it didn't seem to be consistent with the rest of the movie to me. It just seemed like, oh, this seems interesting. Let's throw this in there, and it just thematically it didn't seem to fit.
I mean, like, why? I mean, why? But why would being half demon cause his body to have that kind of reaction? That's what I'm confused about.
It didn't. You don't remember? Mom had been basically injecting him with holy water, causing that to happen. That's what she said. She'd been giving him holy water. He'd been drinking and ingesting holy water. That's why he was having the burning feeling. So when they were injecting him, when they were doing the procedures, and the Dr. Horn was injecting him, and he was saying it burns, it burns, it burns, it's because she injected him with holy water. It wasn't some weird chemical. It was just holy water. Okay. So that's why that. So you missed that completely, huh?
You said no. It's not that I missed it. I just forgot it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about your writing, but we're kind of at the end, and we need to get going anyway. So we'll talk about your writing next time.
Yeah. And
so you need to have something to tell me about next time. I want to hear. Go ahead.
The writing, the writing stuff was meant to be the Geek Question, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd still like
what it was supposed to be.
I'd still like to hear about that, and I want to know that you're working on a short story for the anthology for Legion of Dorks for their fundraiser next year. Because I'm working on one. So are you working on one? Have you got an idea yet?
I know.
So,
yes.
Okay, good. Because I've got an idea. I got to get started working on that. So, okay, I'm done talking about that movie. You know, I mean, we say that we do movie reviews. Dude, I've listened to people that do movie reviews. We don't do movie reviews. We just talk about them. I don't think you could qualify what we say reviews. It's really we just talk about the movie. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we need to roll for the next movie and then get out of here so that you can go crash since you got to get up so early. So we have added We've added Hulu to the list. So now we're going to either do Netflix, Amazon, or Hulu. And Connor has decided he wants to take over the rolling duties. So why don't you take over the rolling duties and roll, and let's see what we got. And I will look at our categories.
So
my earbuds keep popping out.
So before I roll, before I roll, here is the new criteria for the movie rolling.
Okay.
Before it was basically split half and half. If it's low, Amazon, high, Netflix. But with adding a third thing, I had to be a little bit creative. So if you're rolling at 1, you just got to do a straight up re-roll. 2 through 7 is Amazon. 8 through 13 is Hulu, and then 14 to 19 is Netflix. And then if you roll a nat 20, the roller just chooses straight up if they go to Netflix, Amazon, or Hulu.
This is seeming overly complicated.
The rest of the category, it's not overly complicated.
6-sided dice. 1, 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, go ahead. You just want to throw in all the nat
but
ones
the 20
and nat 20s.
gives us more options.
Okay, go ahead. So roll. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
Okay, yes, that's what I'm doing.
I'm pulling
All
up
right.
our list here.
Using my special dice tower that Dad made me. All right. So let's see. It's a 14, so that is
Netflix.
Netflix. All right. All right, let's see. The genre is 10 and the number is 79.
So that would be a thriller on
So,
Netflix. All right, so
yep.
thrillers on Netflix and the 79th movie of there. Okay. All right. So y'all hang tight, and I'm going to go find it. Okay. All right. So our movie that we're reviewing for next time is the 2000.
Dad.
What? What?
Nothing. I was being
Okay.
stupid talking through the wrapping paper
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate
like
that.
a megaphone.
Anyway, the movie that we're going to review for next time, golly Moses, is the 2018 thriller Delirium, starring Topher Grace, Foreman from the '70s show.
Foreman.
He was, I think he ended up playing. Was it Venom on Spider-Man 3? Was it Spider-Man 3? Yeah, the chick.
That was him.
The chick flick Spider-Man. I swear, Spider-Man's suit should have been pink in that, because not only the superhero cried in Spider-Man 3, and both villains cried in Superman 3. I mean, come on, there's no crying in superhero. I mean, come on, really? Anyway, so the tagline for this movie is
they
Yes.
cried in Endgame.
Yeah, well, okay, whatever.
They cried in Endgame.
So the tagline for this
Although,
movie.
to be fair, that's because someone died.
Okay. I'm just.
I'll shut up now.
I'm just waiting, because as soon as I start talking, you're going to interrupt me again. So I'm just going to kind of just wait.
I'm gonna shut up. Shut up.
Cool. That would be awesome.
I'm shutting up.
So the tagline for this movie is. Okay, just making sure. A man recently released from a mental institute inherits a mansion after his wealthy parents die. After a series of disturbing events, he comes to believe it's haunted. So I'm guessing that delirium means that he thinks, am I having delusions? Am I having hallucinations? Am I seeing things? Or is there really some weird, ghosty, scary stuff going on?
Crap.
So
Yeah.
that's our movie for next time. I want to pull up. It does not look like it's probably a very good movie, because the average rating score on Metacritic is 5.7 out of 10. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be a ripper of a movie, but we're going to kind of go from there and watch that. So that's what we're going to do for next time. We'll have another Geek Question. I will probably be a little loopy, because I will have just flown in from Seattle the night before. But that's what we're going to do, and we'll be back here next time just doing the same stuff, talking geeky stuff, chasing a lot of chickens, and
Definitely
doing the same crap we've been doing tonight. So we appreciate you guys coming and watching us and hanging out with us, and that's it for us. So y'all have a great night, and until next time.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
What's the pause for?
There was no pause.
There was. Oh,
No,
and we're gonna, when the music's over, before we go, we're gonna go raid Two Dorks TV. Okay? So. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go raid Two Dorks TV. There's some friends of ours that have been doing
You
it.
mean like this?
I don't know. That have been they've been doing a charity stream for all day for Toys for Tots, and so we're going to go raid them and jump right in and see what's up there. So I think I know how to do this. I'm going to type in what I'm supposed to type in to do it, and we'll see. So let's see if it does it. So hang tight. Yes.
So basically, we just type in raid, right?
I type in /raid Two Dorks TV, which I just did, and I sent it.
Okay.
And we're rating them with 3 viewers, which is us and Mitch. So,
Okay. So what do you type again?
no, I've already done it. I've already typed it into the chat room. I've already sent it. You don't have to do anything. I've taken
So-
care of it.
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you that I typed in. I don't know if I did it right. I typed in raid, and on my screen it says we're raiding
Oh,
Two Dorks
wait.
TV.
Oh, my thing says some type of error occurred.
Oh, really?
Mitch,
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're done. We're out of here. Y'all have a good night. And I tried to do the raid thing, and it doesn't like that. So here, leave
Yeah.
and join. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So it is what it is. So y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys. I want to go
Peace
over
out.
to the actual website and see if we can do it from there. See if that works. So,
Okay. I'm gonna go to bed.
all right, later, dude.
See you, Dad. Love you.
Love you too, man. And Mitch, if you're still on, if you want to do some gaming stuff, man, I'm going to be hopping on soon. Probably will be in Destiny, but if the group's playing something, then I'll be there too. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out this whole raid thing. I tried to raid, and it doesn't look like it's working. Oh, there it is. It finally worked. So we're over there. So anyway,